Merry Christmas! And welcome to Battle Royale with Cheese, the website you can get all of your TV and film news reviews and trailers. So, I have decided to release this on Christmas Day, and for this video I decided to pick a film that I used to watch every Christmas as a kid, but I haven't seen in a few years actually. And I've only watched this twice as an adult, so I thought, well, it'll be interesting to review this one and see if I still like it. Is it as perfect as I thought it was as a kid? And that film is The Muppets Christmas Carol. So, this is an adaptation of the Charles Dickens book, except told by Kermit, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, Fuzzy and MichaelCaine as Ebenezer Scrooge. The film is now 32 years old, being released in 1992. And do I still think it is a Christmas classic, worthy of still watching? Do I think you guys should watch it every year? Yes. Yes, I still really enjoy this film. I still love this film. And I do think it's still a Christmas classic. I do have a couple of problems with this film, but what I do like is a lot of the dialogue is taken from, directly from the book, which I really, really like. And Gonzo is even playing Charles Dickens. Rizzo the Rat is playing himself. But it's a very mostly faithful adaptation in terms of that. And probably one of the most accurate adaptations of The Christmas Carol, weirdly enough. And even at the end of the film, Gonzo even says, you know, if you like the film, you should go read the book, which I really, really like. I think that's quite sweet. I really appreciate that as well. And of course, MichaelCaine is playing Scrooge, and he's fantastic. I'm sure a lot of you know this by now, but yeah, he plays this role very, very seriously. It is quite a famous thing where he was interviewed about this, and he was quoted as saying, "I will play this as if I was in a Shakespeare play." Probably misquoting that or paraphrasing it, but it was essentially that kind of thing, and actually it really, really works because of that. I think if MichaelCaine had been acting all silly and just as silly as the Muppets, this entire film would have fallen flat on its face. His acting and his seriousness is really what makes it, and what makes it work, because a Muppets doing the Christmas Carol is an insane, ridiculous idea. It is a ridiculous idea, but what makes it work is that he is the serious one, because he has to be the serious one because of who the character is. And yes, he plays a very nasty version of Scrooge, as nasty as Scrooge is anyway, but yeah, even from the beginning you can tell he is not a nice man. And he is someone who is, as the story goes, he's visited by three spirits throughout the Christmas Eve night, and quickly learns that actually, you know, what he's doing is going to haunt him. It's gonna, give him a very bad reputation. No one's gonna miss him in the end. And I say quickly because this is one of the flaws or problems I had with the film. Scrooge does kind of seem to learn or change quite quickly. He starts to change sort of at the beginning when the Ghost of Christmas Present comes to visit him, and it's during that song called It Feels Like Christmas, is when he immediately has that switch. And I wish it had been afterwards when they went to go see Bob Cratchit, when he'd gone to see Fred. But at the same time, this is an 80-minute film, not including credits. So at the same time, I do understand that they kind of need to progress the story and make it sort of go along in a very short amount of time. But I do kind of wish that actually he'd started learning as he was seeing what people think of him. And yes, there are songs in this. So my favourite one is It Feels Like Christmas. This song really does feel like Christmas. Like, this is the one that I loved as a kid and reminded me of it's Christmas Eve, Santa's about to visit, and, we're going to have, the Christmas dinner the next day, you've got toys and everything, and that's what it reminds me of. It still reminds me of, it's a very Christmas-filled song. Not all of the songs land for me. The very first song, Marley and Marley, is very weak, And then I think it's called Bless Us All, which is sung by Tiny Tim. I forgot that was in the film completely. I completely forgot that was in the film. I think those two are probably the weakest ones. I will just say the version that I watched didn't have the original song of When Love Is Gone, which is sung by Scrooge's fiancée Belle. So in one of the versions there is another song that Disney for some reason cut out. So my version, my DVD, does not have that song. And it is on YouTube. I did find it on YouTube. It's fine but forgettable, but I think it was an important one to really show that actually Scrooge's the turn in his personality from, you know, finding love to finding love and full love of his money. And I think that they should have kept it in, even if I think the song's not that great. I still think it's an important one to have in the film, and it is a shame that Disney cut it out of the film. But even the weaker ones, I know I said I forgot about Bless Us All, but even the weaker ones as well are still memorable, aside from that one I've just mentioned. But all of them are memorable, even if you just think they're average or just okay. They're very, very memorable. You will remember them next day. Your chances are you'll be singing them the next day. And I like most of the songs. Not all of them land for me, but I like most of them. Of course, yes, this is still a Muppets film, even if we are doing the Christmas Carol. So the puppetry, the slapstick humour is there. The puppetry is really impressive. I think this is one of the first feature films where we actually see the Muppets, actually their full body, including their feet and legs, especially with Kermit. There is a scene where we see him actually walking across the snow. It's extremely impressive how they've done this. And even 32 years later, it still looks amazing. There's another scene where Rizzo the rat ends up in a bin. And yeah, you can see his full body as he's moving around this little space. And yeah, it's very, very impressive. I did wonder a couple of times, wait, how did you do that? Which is always a good sign if it looks as realistic as possible. As realistic as a live rat and, a green walking frog can be. A green walking singing frog can be. But it's extremely impressive and still holds up even today. And like I said, it does still have its humour that's to be expected from the Muppets. And that actually blends in really, really well, which is good. It could have completely failed. Again, this is a film where a lot of the times I was thinking, this could have completely fallen apart. There's moments that completely could have failed, but it works really well. The humour blends in with the seriousness of the story really, really well, which is fantastic. Oh yeah, and if anyone wants my opinions on the ghost, I think the Ghost of Christmas Past is way creepier than the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. Sorry, that little girl is terrifying. That little girl is terrifying. But this was my review on A Muppet's Christmas Carol. Yeah, I still think it's a Christmas classic. I still think it's one to watch with the whole family every year. And even if I have a couple of issues with it now as an adult, I still love it. It still gives me that Christmas feeling. I do have a couple of issues with it, but overall, I still really enjoyed it as an adult, just as much as I did when I was a kid. And it was lovely to revisit it. But I hope you're all having a good Christmas or a good holiday if you don't celebrate Christmas. And there will be one more video review of the year, and then I'm going to be taking a break for a week or so. So yeah, I'll talk more about that in the next video, but my next video will be the last video review of 2024, but I'll talk about more of that in the next video. But until then, I was Megan, this is Battle Royale with Cheese, see you soon.